of. And this is true, when you're practicing at home. It's good for you to be aware of anyway. And I have to remind myself, as long as I've been doing it, is, posture is very important in Qigong and Tai Chi both. And so it's always important. Toes always pointing forward. We don't, as my teacher says, we're not ducks and we're not pigeon-toed. Keep our feet pointing forward when we start. We always keep our knees slightly bent. We tuck in our tailbone as we straighten up. Our head should feel like we have a string attached, at the top, so that we keep our head fairly straight. Sometimes it's easy to do this, and I find myself doing it sometimes, and I have to remind myself. And because we do that, our chin kind of naturally goes back. But if you find yourself doing this when you're in this posture, you want to make sure your chin is tucked back. Your chest is kind of in, not military style. We're not, soldiers. So our chest should be sunken in just a little bit, so that we round our back just slightly. Just our arms should hang loose. A little bit of space under the arms, not like, don't let your arms be right up against your body. Keep your fingers relaxed at the sides. Fingers slightly, curved but not curled or anything, and just relax. And this posture, also you put your tongue at the roof of your mouth, and we're going to breathe in and out through our nose. There's a few exceptions when I'll say, okay, let it out. That means out of the mouth. But in our practice of Qigong and Tai Chi, we breathe in and out through the nose. We breathe so that it goes down to this center. There's a area right below the belly button, about 2 or 3 inches down and downward in here. It's called the dantian. It's the reservoir, the energy center. This is where we build up our energy and store it for those of us who are really tired and didn't get enough sleep. That's aimed at somebody back there. And so we want to get that energy in here. So let's start by just do some nice deep breathing. Oh, eyes open or closed is up to you. Sometimes people just kind of, half open, half closed. But you want to feel as relaxed as possible. Keep your shoulders relaxed as much as possible. We want to keep them down like that at our sides. And just stand there for a few seconds. Try to feel yourself centered. We always, before we begin Tai Chi and Qigong also, we want to feel as centered as possible. You should feel that in your feet. At the bottom of our feet is a very sensitive area that we want to grow roots out of that. We want to feel rooted or grounded. Sometimes we'll use grounded or rooted as a word. So you want to feel that connection to the earth. As we stand there, basically from the waist down, we should feel kind of heavy, as we stand there. And from the waist up, we should feel light, like we're growing, like a plant. The plant that grows, down, the roots grow down, the upper part grows up. So for just a few seconds, just stand there. Just let your breathing come and go. As you breathe in, your belly should expand. And as you breathe out, it should go back. You always want to do these kinds of things even before regular Tai Chi practice. It's always a good idea to center. I'm going to do a little bit of a different exercise. It's similar, it's still a breathing exercise. Take your hands and you're going to sweep them up like you're washing your face. Breathe in and then breathe out. Wash it away. You're breathing in good chi, good energy, and breathing out any bad energies, any toxins, anything that's accumulated in your system you want to get rid of. And try to do a breath of, say, a count of 3 to begin with. 1, 2, 3. You don't count out loud. I'm just doing it so that you're breathing. Go slow as you can. Don't try to hurry it. As you get more comfortable, as you breathe in, bend your knees a little extra. Go down just a little bit. And then as you breathe out, push it down. Straighten up, push your hands down, you straighten up a little bit. But And never lock your knees. Remember, always keep your knees slightly bent. And as you practice this more and more, you want to extend the count. 1, 2, 3. You know, for now, just do 3 or 4, whatever's comfortable. But you're going to want to, extend the count little by little. And your movements, of course, will just match your breathing. This a while, you begin to feel the chi moving real quickly. Some of you may feel it in your fingertips real fast. It's that tingling feeling. For those of you who are new, that's kind of a tingling feeling that you begin to get in your hands and feet and the parts of your body once you do this for a while. That's the energy moving. Feet out a little bit, so they're maybe shoulder width apart, but a little extra wide, because you want to have good stability. You should kind of go from side to side. Feel the difference. You want to get used to shifting your weight, because in Tai Chi you're going to be doing a lot of shifting weight. Okay, so for now, just whenever you're just standing around doing nothing, waiting for something. Practice you don't have to do a big sway if you're standing in line at the store or something, but you can stand somewhere, just feel the difference, and you can move the chi. Once you get used to this, you can actually move that energy from one side of you to the other side of you. You can move it out to your hands. So let's put our hands out like this. We're going to, we want the energy to come out through that palm of the hands. So push down with your palms, and then turn your head to one side, and roll your head back gently, and then over your shoulder. So you're going to breathe in as you go back, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. And only go as much as you can. Don't try to overdo. Just 2 or 3 at the beginning. Slowly move your head to the other side, over the shoulder and back, over the shoulder and back. My neck just went crickle, crackle. Okay, relax. Okay. Let's do some openings. Remember, this is the Tai Chi opening, but we'll do a lot of them right here just to get us moving, get our chi moving. By the way, this one is known to be good for things like high blood pressure as well. You can do these movements. Let your hands come up to just shoulder height, and let the elbows drop first. To shoulder height. Breathe in and breathe out. In. We're going to add something to it. In and out, and in and out. In and out. Bend your knees a little bit extra when you come down. Get a little bit more of a workout when you bend your knees. One more. This time we're going to hold the chi ball right here. I can put my feet so I'm comfortable here. And we're going to take the chi ball around to the side and turn it. And take it over to the other side and turn it. Breathe in when you're there at the sides. Breathe out as you go across. Breathe in. Breathe out. So nice breathing in, and then take the bottom hand and lift it up and push up, and the top hand goes down. You can turn your head to the side. It just makes it more comfortable. Get a nice stretch. Bring your hands back together in the ball, chi ball. Opposite. Breathe out. So you're going to breathe in when your hands are meeting, and then breathe out. In, and breathe out. Breathe in, and out. Again, you can bend your knees a little bit when you come to the breathing in, and breathe out. For those of you who are new or haven't been here for a while, we always try to start off with more breathing and some stretching. These are combined breathing and stretching, and then we also add some that are a little more energetic later, and we also add some more flow type. That's just me. Okay. Check out the legs a little bit. We want to work the whole body, so let's go ahead and do some feet work. We're going to turn the ankles, I know they're called ankle circles. You can do it like this if you're in condition. You can do it up here. It's harder up on this floor for me than it is on the harder floors. And then do the other side. Both directions. If you need to, just do it on the, with your toes on the floor. That's effective, just as effective. Sometimes I just kind of kick it out too, because the legs sometimes get stiff when we stand in one position for a while. So periodically, I'll just remember to do that. And another good one is this one too, which is hard to do on this floor. It also helps the hips and stuff. Right, let's go ahead and do the core, the hip circles. I always like to rub my hands, warm them up, because I like to put them back here, but you can do this, or you can do this. We're going to do some hip circles, or hula hoops. This also is very good for the hips. Sometimes that's where we tend to get stiff, as we mature. But this is also one that's used by Tai Chi practitioners of all ages to warm up before doing Tai Chi, so for all ages. Always lose count, so somewhere in here we're just trying to go the other way. It's hard to talk and keep count. It is for me anyway. All right, feet about that, a little bit, shoulder width apart a little bit more maybe. We're going to work on our knees as well. Roll them in, circle them inward. Just very gently, go very slow. Only do a few. If you're not used to it, just do 3, 4, 5, and then stop. If you're more used to it, go ahead and you can do, 8, 9, 10 of them. And let's go in the opposite direction. Let yourself roll up slowly. Okay, some spinal cord breathing. Our hands right here. We're going to open up our chest and breathe in, look up, and then put our arms together and breathe out. And when you breathe out, kind of round your back as you breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Out. This is called spinal cord breathing, and it helps to move the fluids in our backs, makes our backs more flexible. hands right here. We're gonna do a twist where we look to the back. Remember, keep your knees slightly bent, and you're gonna lift that heel off the floor as you turn. Look over your shoulder. Go back only as far as is comfortable. So turn and go the other way. Be sure you lift your heel and bend your knees. Side to side. And this you just kind of do normal breathing. Just breathe in and out. Just be sure to keep breathing comfortably. Extend your arms out. And then a little bit lower. A little bit lower. And form light fists. You're going to go across your center and you're going to cross your lower back. It's called knocking on the door of life. And what you're doing here is you're stimulating some pressure points that are here and also across the back. This is a good energizer. It's one of those good ones to help you wake up in the morning. And it also helps to loosen up your waist, because that's one of the things that you're going to have to be able to do in Tai Chi, is to be able to move and turn, at the waist, make turns. From here we go into another part of Qigong, which is called tapping or knocking. This is part of it right here, what you're doing. This is going to tap on pressure points. Pressure points are your acupuncture or acupressure points. Right under your shoulder, on the collarbone, I always forget the name of that, the collarbone, right underneath of it, right there is where you want to tap. And also you can tap across your neck or your shoulder, goes behind your neck. That helps to relieve any kind of stress that we build up sometimes from sitting at computers or reading too long in one position, sit in one position for too long. Okay, then just back to here. Then I guess so that you're tapping right at your tailbone and right below the belly button. You want to stimulate that dantian, that reservoir, and then it's just right there. Move that energy, get it moving through our bodies, wake us up out to the hips area. It's down the side of our legs. Oops. Right below the knees, there's another place outside right here where you want to tap it. That you can do, several times, but we'll just do it a few times right now. Down the legs, up the inside of the legs. Go once more up the outer part of the legs. Inner part. Then our back, up curve to the kidney areas and down all the way to the tailbone. Use the soft part of your fist here for when you get up here. It's a lot easier. And then when you get down lower, you use more of the knuckles. When you get near the tailbone, you want to use the knuckles. Up and down, up and down. Anytime I think I'm getting a stiff back or just a little bit of a backache from maybe sitting too long or sleeping too hard in one position, which I do sometimes, I'm so tired, I just sleep all night in one position. I wake up in the morning, it's like, oh my gosh, can't move. I'm stiff. These are some of the things that I'll do to kind of unstiffen myself, to get myself moving again. Okay, let's go to our arms. Again, we have pressure points in our arms, so tap right there at the upper part of your elbow, want to open up what they call the meridians, the channels. That's where the energy moves. It's like the freeways. You want to get rid of the traffic or the congestion that happens sometimes in our bodies, you know. And it's believed, according to traditional Chinese medicine, that what causes so often pain and illnesses, that we get blockages inside of the elbow. Those get blocked, and the energy isn't moving properly to keep us healthy, to move all the good things to our cells, you know, keep those nice and healthy. Okay, let's do the other side. We want to stay well balanced. Okay, let's do the inner and outer part of our wrist. Again, pressure points. We have a lot of pressure points that are right in here. There's a whole series of exercises that you can do, you know, to pressure point these areas. I don't know if any of you have ever done them, but my husband and I try to do them, you know, often too. It just helps to move everything good, keeps it healthier. The other side, we want to stay even, we want to stay well balanced. Keeps us, our right and left side of our brains balanced. Okay, let's do this one. This is good for arthritis. The hands, stiffness in the hands for arthritis. Extend your fingers, kind of stretch your fingers out when you're doing this. And do it in the opposite direction, back towards you. I can feel that. I don't know about you, but my fingers are tingling like crazy. Shelly, how about you? You feel it? Feel the chi? That is good. Hey, welcome back. Missed ya. All right, let's shake it out this way. Again, that's moving those pressure points. And down, and down, and down, and down, and down. Whew. Now you can breathe out. Let's do 2 or 3. I don't want you to get too dizzy. Me too. Okay. Put your hands out here. Woo. I don't know about you, but boy, am I tingling. This always feels good too. Just shake, you know, just kind of like athletes do. Just, you know, you know how an athlete sometimes before he jumps in the pool will go up there and go like this. That is one of the best things that you can do for yourself when you're tense, or just, you know, you need to kind of all the way down to your feet. You know, start up here and all the way down to your feet. Just one of the best things you can do. Looks silly, but hey, we're having fun, right? Okay. Woo. All right. Let's do some nice flows. Okay, feet a little wider apart. Okay. And for this one, go only as wide as you're comfortable. If you're real comfortable, you can have that invisible chair back here. But if not, just right here is fine. And once you get more used to it, you can get way down here. But we're going to do the swimming dragon. So hands right here. And we're going to do just a couple of them, parts of it. So this part. Slow. This is a dragon swimming kind of through sand almost. And as you go side to side, you should feel a little nice stretch on your side too. And go up. Back. Just take nice, deep, comfortable breaths. Just let it in and out. And then come back down. And go down only as low as is comfortable. Here back to the center. Okay, turn one leg out, foot out, not the leg. Well, the leg goes with the foot, I guess, right? So, okay, we're going to do a lunge. This comes from the heart. I always think of this one as this is when you can send out chi to others that you want them to get well as well. You want to send them good chi. So, breathe in and breathe out. When you breathe out, don't let your knee go past your toes. In. to center, turn that foot in, turn the other one out. In and out. In, out. In, out. One more. Take back to center. Bring your feet back together. And you need to shake them up. Track of the time. Because I want us to be able to do some of the Tai Chi moves too, so I have to keep looking to see where the time flies to. Okay, well, let's do some that are more flows as well. So we're going to do the opening, and then bring it in towards you, and then out, and in, then out, and down. We'll start simple, okay? Up, in, out, in, out, and down. Okay. Oops, I think I forgot where I was going. Sorry about that. Okay, down, and then up, and inward, and out to the sides, and down. Then do an opening, and down. Okay, the next one, in, and out, in, and out, and down, and up. Oh, opening. Okay. Oops, did I do too many? Okay, one, and in, and out. This kind of called opening to the 6 directions. That's okay. Sometimes I forget which way I'm going to. As long as you're moving, you know. Okay, now we're going to change it up a little bit. Down. Okay. This time we're going to go up and out. Hands come back together like this. And then up here and out. And you're going to circle. Hands out. Then together. And out. And circle. This is called embracing the tiger and return to the mountain. Out. Breathe in. And breathe 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 out. Breathe in. Out. In. And breathe out. And one more. Here. And then just out and down here. Okay. Lock our fingers down here. A little more stretching with this one as well as our breathing. So we're going to bring them up this way. Breathe in. Get it up here. Stretch it out, and then let it out. Breathe in. Stretch it, and let it out. Bend your knees when you come down. Try to keep your back as straight as possible as well. Keep doing it. One more. We're going to do some work on our oiling the shoulders. So one foot out. We're going to oil the wheel. In and out. to doing that. So, first time, yeah. Maybe as you know, you move that shoulder. So it kind of almost comes up to your ear, and it goes back. Switch sides, do the other side. Let's do the other. And you can also lift your toe on this. Sometimes I forget to say that because it just kind of helps to pump the chi more. But if you do this at home, remember you can remember to do some of these. You're just moving the chi a little bit extra. Okay, let's just do some regular shoulder rolls. Back and then forward. Our hands up here, and we're going to cross them right here, and then go out like that, and bring them here, and open them, and go out like that. This is a good out, turn them over, and out. Another good Tai Chi warm-up. A little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Down here, we'll do the rainbow dance. So remember, we bring our hands up here first, and breathe out. Extend one hand and shift your weight. And bring that hand, breathe in, and shift your weight to that hand. Just do it slow so that you really feel that nice stretch on your inner legs. Also, at the same time, you feel that sense of shifting your weight. It's also, of course, working your arms and your shoulders. And arms down. Do some of the moves that we'll be learning. My goal is that into next month we're going to start a short, I call it the short forms. It's called the 8 form. It's 8 movements, and there'll be 8 movements that you'll go from, unlike this, you'll go from one movement into the next. In Qigong, it's pretty much independent movements unless you want to. You can string several movements together. You know, several movements together create a form. And there's tons of form within each style of Tai Chi. There's many styles of Tai Chi. There's the Yang style, there's the Chen, there's the Wu, there's the Sun, there's some other ones that, you know, that you don't have to memorize any of this stuff, by the way. I don't give tests. But anyway, the style that I have been practicing is the Yang style. And so within that, like I said, there's a lot of different forms. There's this one that we're going to be doing, starting with, is the 8 form. There's a 24 form, which is probably the next one that will, hopefully by summertime, if you're all willing, and you know, we'll work on the 24. And then there's some other ones that get into 44 movements and 100 and something movements, like 144. Plus many others in between, sort of. But we're going to start with the 8 form movements. And last week I started showing you the Tai Chi walk, and then we'll add to that in a minute too. But there's some other movements within the 8 form that we'll be doing, and I think I showed this a couple of weeks ago, and that one of them is the rooster stands on one leg. Yeah. Like that, okay. So let's practice that one right now, just because you will be doing that. That way you can start practicing this one at home, you know, so just so that you get used to it. When you do this one, you'll be moving from another move into it. So, you know, just be aware of that. It's not, you don't just start, but we'll do it right now, just so that it helps you to start building up your legs. Because one of the things that you'll find in Qigong and in Tai Chi is that your legs are going to get very strong. If they're not strong already, they will be. So it'll be like this. Your foot will be kind of, your toe can be pointing down a little bit. It doesn't have to be like this. Be kind of like that. And then you'll switch to the other leg. And when the leg that goes up, your hand will be like this. This hand will be down here. So it'll be from here, and then you'll switch. So just for right now, let's just do. And sometimes you'll hear named different things. Some people call it pheasant stance on one leg. Some call it, we call it the rooster stance on one leg, excuse me. And I've even heard it, there was another one that was kind of something about a chicken stance. You know, it just depends on whose version you read or listen to. And it's cute. I mean, to me it's funny. You have all these different names for some of the moves. You don't have to do them fast because you won't be doing them fast in the move. But just gets you used, and then try to hold it for a little bit. That's where you really learn your balance. What you're doing is you're strengthening it's hard on, for me it's harder on this floor than it is on more solid floor, but it's because I feel like my heel is sinking down because of where my weight is at. But to hold it in one position for a while gets a little more difficult, you know, especially here. I really can feel, but after a while you will get a burn. Some people think, oh, Tai Chi, that's effortless. Well, guess what? It isn't. You will build up muscles that you never knew you had. My husband still teases me about my muscles and my legs because he says, look at those legs. And I go, yeah. After, you know, a few years of it, your legs will get stronger and get good balance.
For the stance on one leg, chicken or whatever.
The rooster. We'll call it the rooster. Okay.
Is the other leg bent?
Yeah, you always keep your knees slighted. You don't want to ever lock your knees because if you're putting all that weight on that knee, remember, on that leg, always there's just a slight bend. Not a lot when you're doing one-legged things, because there are other things that we'll be doing. The other one that we'll be doing in 8 form is, it'll go from here, you'll cross, remember parting the clouds that we've been doing? Parting the clouds, let's just do parting the clouds. When you're parting the clouds, your hands come, they cross, and you're opening up the cloud. You're parting the clouds, literally. I mean, that's the move. So it's basically the same when we do it in the Tai Chi form. You'll be doing this, but then what you'll be doing is shifting your weight to one leg. And this is harder because I'm trying to do it, you know, it should be like this so you can see the same side. But for right now, don't worry about it. When we get into the form, I'm going to have to turn my back so that we all go in the same direction. Because one of the things I noticed in another class, not this one, is that some people were going in that direction and some were going in that direction because they were mirroring. And then once we start doing it as a group, we're all going to have to go in the same direction, you know, when we start doing the movements. So, but for right now, it doesn't make any difference. Just you can mirror if you want. Part the clouds. Shift your weight to the one leg. I'll say my left leg, okay? And we go into what is called a cat stance, or just a toe stance. You know, it's also called a cat stance because what you're going to do is with this foot, you're going to lift it up and you're going to kick. Okay, heel kick. There's 2 kinds of kicks, and well, more than 2, but 2 that we'll be learning throughout this few months. It's the toe kick and the heel kick. And this one is called the heel kick. So you're kicking out with your heel. And you don't have to kick high.
That's good, because it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, well, if you're 20 years old and you've been doing this since you were 5 years old, yeah, they kick way up there. There's no way that, you know, why? I just want to do it. So I don't worry about that part. As long as you're kicking correctly, you know, and then that foot comes down, your feet will land, you know. You don't try to land like this because it's hard. It lands so you're shoulder width apart, then you're going to switch and do the other side. The one thing, let me get a sip of water. You can keep practice kicking while I'm talking. And I'll tell you some of the things to watch, because this is going to help you start, learning your balance, improving your balance. So as you're kicking out, your hands extend out. Ooh, it's hard on this floor. Okay. Then bring your foot back in. Don't drop it like this.
Oh,
Bring it back in and down. So bend it back. Do it like this and down. Ooh. It's too soft here for me. Okay, so that's basically it. Then again, your hands go out. You have to find sort of a different center when you're.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, you don't do that many in a row. You usually do one on each side. But I just want you to get that feeling of what it feels like, what it feels like, because it's gonna, you're gonna be using that. Okay, here's another move that we do the opening. Remember, we'll do this opening, and then come down. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come back here and put your hands right at the shoulder. You're gonna turn, let me turn this way. You're gonna turn your left hand up, palm up, and your right arm is gonna go back about just past the shoulder. Don't have to go way back here. Just past the shoulder, and it's gonna kind of come up, go about I'd say a foot away from your ear. And as you come forward, it's going to go past, the palms will kind of pass each other here, okay? Here, that palm will turn, this one will turn. I'm gonna do it sideways, okay? This. We're gonna do it in stationary, in the 8 form. Once we get into the 24 form, you actually are walking backwards when we're doing this. But for our purposes, for the beginning, we're just going to do, this is called repulse the monkey. So when I tell you we're going to do repulse the monkey, you'll know. You can turn your head and kind of slightly look to the side, but you don't have to look way back, because, and just depends.